All right, folks, we got Bitcoin coming in at 28,122. Not too shabby if you ask me. Altcoins not doing too much, basically just chilling out. They're kind of waiting to do their thing. We have the whole bank run narrative still kind of out there. People are kind of freaked out. But I just want to make this video today. Actually, I was listening to Crypto Rand this morning. He actually made some really good points. Normally he doesn't. But just talking about how easy it is to chase Bitcoin right now and get out of your alts, and how easy it is to get wrecked. Anybody who's been in crypto more than a couple years, I got in 2017. I know a lot of other YouTubers have been in even longer than that. When you start chasing these Bitcoin pumps, it just doesn't work out for you. Yeah, if you hold no Bitcoin whatsoever, buy some, but selling all your alts, I'm seeing it on comments, I'm seeing videos, other YouTubers talking about, oh, this is a Bitcoin run, this is a Bitcoin bull run. The altcoins aren't going to do anything. They were saying the same thing last cycle, the same thing the cycle before. Many people, even seasoned traders, seasoned investors, get suckered in to selling their alts at a loss, chasing Bitcoin. So here's a little bit from Crypto Rand.
So right now, for those, it would be a good time to rather be holding Bitcoin over them. But that is the trap. That is the same trap that I fell into in 2019. I felt that this time was going to be different, and that this time was going to be a Bitcoin-only run. And guess what? It was a Bitcoin-only run for a long time, until it wasn't. And when it wasn't, the altcoins outperformed Bitcoin a lot. Someone says Phantom's outperforming Bitcoin very well. Let's look at that. Phantom, BTC. You want to be seeing the charts. Okay, there we go. You see, so I'm not a chartist, but I can easily, in 1 second, I can see the pattern that's happening here. You got a perfect breakout on Bitcoin. You got a perfect retest for Phantom, which, if you are a chartist and you do think that you are reading into this chart, then you'd probably say that Phantom right now is a good buy because it's somewhere here on the retest. What you can see though is that if you look at, so these are the BTC pairs. Joe, one of our researchers, put them all down for me, and you can see all of them are underperforming. The only ones that today have performed well against Bitcoin are Solana, which has performed 7.73% up against Bitcoin, and you've got Link, which is about 3.28% above Bitcoin. We're going to talk about that because there are some whales that are buying a Link, and we should look at why they're buying Link. But what I want to show you is this chart over here, because the top chart over here is Bitcoin, and the bottom chart is Total 3, which is the degen altcoins. Because effectively what it is, it's altcoins, but then what happens is you remove Ethereum, because Ethereum is such a big altcoin, and you start looking at the performance of the altcoins against Bitcoin. Now, this line is when BTC topped. So you can see here, BTC topped. And you can see that the alts didn't top for a long period of time, actually. In fact, the alts, Total 3 rallied 300% after BTC topped. And you can see the same thing happen in 2021. The same happened. It rallied 65% after BTC topped. So what you normally get is you get BTC topping, dominance obviously topping, and then you get BTC starting to come down, and then the money starts flowing into the altcoins. And I don't believe that this time will be different. I believe that every time we're in that position, we think that this time it will be different. But I don't think it's going to be different. I think you need to, if you're holding good quality alts, obviously if you're holding good quality alts, if you're holding bad quality alts, I can't help you. But if you're holding good quality alts, then I think hold, because I think that this is exactly what happened in 2019 and early in 2021. And I think that eventually it always turns. Now, listen, I may be wrong.
And I think he's making some good points there. I usually don't agree with Rand all that much, but I'll just never forget myself in 2021 just selling a bunch of Cardano because Bitcoin was blown past $20,000. I'm selling a bunch of Cardano at like 6 cents, and then a week later Cardano's at like 50 cents. I mean, it happens to everybody. You want to buy Bitcoin right now, that's fine, but I wouldn't be selling any alts to get into Bitcoin. Not to mention, Bitcoin just pumped heavy. I mean, anybody who's been in crypto long enough knows you don't chase these pumps. This is a big pump on Bitcoin. This is not, I would not feel good buying Bitcoin right now. I mean, I guess I would for the long term, but Bitcoin could be right back down to $25,000 tomorrow. And if that happens, a lot of these alts are not going to lose as much as Bitcoin. If Bitcoin drops back down to $25,000, you'll probably see Cardano at like 32 cents. But it's not going to go down to like 20 cents. So there's a lot of scared money in Bitcoin right now, especially with this banking narrative. And they'll leave Bitcoin in a second. Like if it comes out, like I said yesterday, if the Fed comes out and says, "Oh, all banks are insured, don't worry, everything up to like $1 million is insured," everybody will just run right back into Bitcoin. So right now, I'm just trying to get good deals on alts, and I think it's really important because I know a lot of people are jumping out of these alts. You can tell people are jumping out of these alts because that's why Bitcoin's going up. Bitcoin's going up because retail is jumping out of alts. Look at these alts; they're all down. And they're popping right into Bitcoin. It never ends well for people who do that. There's a time and a place to do that, like the end of a bull market. You can get out of these altcoins and get into Bitcoin, but we've already been in this bear market for over a year. Bitcoin halving coming up in less than a year on some charts. It's not the time to be fucking around with that. All right, what else we got going on today? We got the stock market up 300 points, so that could actually help Bitcoin. You had that bailout of what was that, Credit Suisse or whatever, a little bit of a bailout there. They were bought out. You got First Republic Bank continue the tank. So some of these bank stocks are still continuing to tank. Some of the tech sectors are looking a little shady. Amazon laying off $9,000 more workers, and they just had I think they just laid off 10,000 workers a couple weeks ago. So a lot of the tech sector is looking pretty wonky. In fact, this whole recession that we go into this year could be basically just tech sector. I remember, back during the last tech sector dump, which was 15 years ago. I remember seeing stories on TV how a lot of these tech guys had to get jobs at Walmart because they just couldn't find any tech jobs. So I could see something like that happening because a lot of these tech jobs overhired the last couple years. But as long as we have this banking narrative, Bitcoin and crypto should do well. Plus, it doesn't even matter about the banking narrative. Crypto was going to pump this year anyway. We weren't going to stay at $15,000 all year. I totally expected by the end of this year we'd probably see a $30,000 or $40,000 Bitcoin. Now it could actually be sooner, just because of the bank narrative. But Bitcoin was going to pump at the end of this year regardless. There's nothing that can stop Bitcoin when you have the Bitcoin halving coming up. You're cutting supply, so you're going to have a pump regardless. Alrighty then, let's see what else we got going on. I want to do a little bit of Theta news. As you guys know, Theta is one of my top holdings. I love Theta. Just had some people in my family the other day asking, should we still be holding Theta? I'm like, yeah, actually, don't sell your Theta to buy Bitcoin right now. That's not what you're supposed to do. So Theta came out with a new roadmap. And a great thing, Theta has always been very transparent about what they're going to do. I remember reading Theta's roadmap in 2017, 2018. Their roadmap always comes true. They're not one of these companies who puts out a roadmap and then it just never happens. They accomplish everything on their roadmap. So they have a Q2, which is coming up for 2023, MetaChain partnership launch in testnet, which I think has already happened. You got partner support in testnet wallet. So I think all this happened in Q2, which I think we've already seen. I think this was the big update from a month ago. So Q3 of 2023, which should be coming up. Look at all this crap we have coming up for Theta. MetaChain partners go live on mainnet. So that's going to be big. Their MetaChain is going live. Theta video API, self-serve NFT DRM support for live streams. Decentralized transcoding of live streams. So the one thing I heard about Theta, I've never really used Theta for decentralized video, but I know they actually have people who broadcast on Theta live. And the one thing I've heard, it's kind of a wonky system. It doesn't work all that well yet. You can kind of tell it's in the beta phase. And these updates, it sounds like, are auto improve all that. Next generation Theta Edge network release. distributive NFT storage, new computation jobs, videos and others, support for TNT20 token rewards. That's pretty cool. And then you have towards the end of 2023, meta-chain adoption, metrics, and dashboard, Theta Video API, fully decentralized encoding, transcoding, and storage. So all these upgrades are kind of basically to just make what they have right now better, it sounds, to kind of like to streamline the process. Next generation Theta Edge Network release, support for job prioritizing and output, and summary reports analytics of jobs completed. So then going into 2024, next generation Theta Edge release 3, jobs and payload marketplace, optimization of jobs and supply demand, API interface for developers. So Theta has a rough plan. They're coming out with updates. I think the main thing with Theta that we're going to see is going into the end of next year, but I think more like 2024, 2025, I think we're going to see adoption. I think we're going to see a lot more people using Theta. I think we're going to see people leaving places like YouTube and streaming on Theta. I think you're going to see Theta really big in the VR community, the metaverse community. There was an article that came out last month that Theta is also going to be big into AI. So I think all that's going to kind of come together. I wouldn't be surprised if you see partnerships, with even like Meta, with even like Facebook. I mean, I think Theta is going to be everywhere. As you guys know, like the weird way I got into Theta was a psychic who had died. Michelle White Dove came on this guy's channel, and I bought some Theta as a joke, just because the company sounded good, and she was talking about $1,000 Theta, and that was when Theta was like 6 cents, and of course Theta went from 6 cents to $15 in 2021. So it really, or 2020 or whatever it was, but it absolutely insane. So I think the next run for Theta is going to be, you're probably going to see a $25 to $30 Theta. It's my number one holding for sure. And then you have Cardano, and then you have some other auths, and I have some Bitcoin and all that. But Theta is just, it's one of those coins where I don't worry about it. Like I buy it. I don't need to Google Theta every day seeing what they're up to. I just know in 2024 I'm going to make a lot of money with it. I trust the founders, U.S.-based company, San Francisco. All the guys are Ivy League educated, and they've proven themselves. You know, a lot of these newer companies that are popping up, you have like Solana and all this, it crashes every week and it never works. And whenever these founders give interviews, they sound like used car salesmen. And then you wonder what they were doing before they were in whatever project they're in, and you can't find anything on them. They're like just like losers living in their mom's basement. Like with Theta, it's like established, smart people. Like the cream of the crop of society, they're the people that are running Theta. So I don't worry about it. I'm expecting Theta to make me a lot of money in 2024, 2025. Like I said, I'll probably sell half my Theta when it hits all-time highs again of $15, and then I'll probably sell the rest little along the way there. But I don't talk about Theta as much because there's really not much to talk about. It's just that good. It's just like, even like something like Theta or like Cardano. Like I love Cardano, but like you have to worry about Charles Hoskinson. Like he's kind of a cocky guy. Like could he do something stupid? Could he say something stupid that could affect the price? With Theta, you don't worry about it. In fact, with Theta, they don't even talk about price. If you ask the founder during an interview about price, they won't even go there. They're like, we just don't go there. So they've been smart about how they're running their company. They're running like a legit company like they should. And if you just look at this roadmap, things are looking good for Theta. So don't take your eye off Theta. And the reason I'm talking about Theta today is because Theta's at like $1.05 today, and it's a deal. It's an absolute deal. See, eventually, so people who didn't buy any Bitcoin or have no crypto, right now they're running into crypto. They're buying Bitcoin at $28,000. You could have bought it at $14,000, $15,000 a couple months ago. But you've almost missed your opportunity for Bitcoin for this cycle. Eventually, Bitcoin's going to be $35,000, $40,000. I mean, okay, so Bitcoin might go up to $100,000 next bull market or whatever. Like you're looking at a double. Like you can get that in a stock. You might as well just buy Apple. Apple could double. You might as well buy anything else. Why would you buy Bitcoin? So it gets to the point with Bitcoin, like a lot of people now, you've missed it. If you didn't buy Bitcoin, you're starting to get to that point where for at least this cycle, you're getting close to just like, is it even worth it? But a lot of these altcoins, they still have 10, 15, 20x to go. Cardano, just to get back to all-time highs, is like a 10, 15x. Same with Theta, it's like a 15x. So don't take your eye. Right now, I know everybody's fixated on Bitcoin. Everybody's like a dog, like, oh my God, Bitcoin, 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 banks, banks, banks. That narrative will dry up. Bitcoin will top out. There's gonna be a big dump in Bitcoin, and then a lot of people are gonna start putting their money into alts. That's just the way it goes. So, all right, the other thing I want to talk about, of course, is Bitcoin at $1 million in 90 days. You know, it is fun. It's not going to happen, but it is fun to talk about. Crypto Ram was talking about that a little bit. You know, I actually agree with two things that Crypto Ram said. You know, of course, if Bitcoin became $1 million in 90 days, that would mean the world you know it is no longer. Your house will be worth nothing. You'd have looters going up and down the street. You better have guns. You better have storable food, which I do have. You're going to probably be shooting people. I mean, that's how bad things would get. But the guy who made this prediction is, you know, he's made some right predictions in the past. So Crypto Ram was talking about it, so I just want to play that for a minute.
$1 million bets. I don't really pay attention. It's like, okay, crypto people, big dick swinging contests. Can I bet $1 million? But the problem is Balaji is different, and I'll tell you why Balaji is different. He came out on the 30th of January, 2020. Now, let me take you guys back to the 30th of January, 2020. COVID was not a thing back then. COVID was a small virus contained to China that we hardly heard about in the Western media. And he wrote a tweet, which was a long tweet thread, and he called the tweet thread going viral. And he says, what if this coronavirus is the pandemic that public health people have been warning about for years? It would accelerate many pre-existing trends. Border closures, nationalism, social isolation, preppers, remote work, face masks, distrust in governments. So he said all of this, and if you follow this tweet, he kind of predicted a whole lot of things that would happen way before the borders were actually closed in March or April, and when they were actually closed. So, and I remember reading his tweet, and I remember when I read this tweet, I thought to myself, Balaji's a smart guy, but this is sensationalist. And then what landed up happening was that 90% of what he spoke about in this tweet actually landed up materializing. And so when he comes out again, and he gets into his tweet mood again, and he says, look, there is going to be hyperinflation, the banks are going to collapse in the US, I'm just scared because I'm starting to feel like if I discount him again, and he's right again, then this time I would have had a way out. During COVID, I didn't have a way out because I didn't have a roadmap. I didn't understand what the
So yeah, I mean, so of course, I don't think the banks are all going to collapse. I don't think Bitcoin's going to go to, you know, $1 million in 90 days or whatever. But you could see other banks collapse. So if you do see other banks collapse, you're definitely going to see more money flowing into stuff like gold and Bitcoin. So what have we always preached on this channel? Be prepared for everything. You want to be holding money in a big bank, that's fine. You want to be holding Bitcoin, you want to be holding crypto, you want to be holding gold, you want to be holding real estate. Essentially, you just don't want all your eggs in one basket, and that's what it comes down to. Now for me, with this whole banking situation, it has made me think, like, wow, like if the U.S. government isn't there to bail out these banks would collapse. There'd be no different than like FTX Exchange, Celsius, BlockFi. It made me realize they're all the same fucking shit. BlockFi is no better than your local bank, except for they're backed up by the U.S. government. Celsius, no better. They're investing in a bunch of shady shit. If you want to, everybody wants to pull all their money out, it's done. So I've kind of realized the safest thing is probably real estate. I've said this before. The other safest thing, hold Bitcoin on a private wallet. Of course, the risk there is somebody can hack you, somebody can steal all your money, and it's not backed up by the federal government. Now, anybody who's been in crypto for more than 5 or 6 years has had money stolen in crypto. You get hacked, you lose it. So there's a risk everywhere. But if you're smart about it, if you got your private key, you put it in a safe that nobody knows about and nobody can get to it, or you put it wherever, that's probably the safest bet. But you want to be in everything. So yes, if more banks do collapse and at least that narrative's out there, you're going to see more money flowing into Bitcoin and gold. And if you're in everything, you're going to say to yourself, wow, well, good for me. I have Bitcoin, so my portfolio is going up. If banks don't collapse, Bitcoin might drop down back down to like $25,000, but by the end of the year, we have the Bitcoin halving, and Bitcoin's going to shoot up for there. So it's a win-win. And of course, if banks don't collapse, you have your money in the bank anyway, so you're doing fine in that respect too. So you want to be prepared for everything. Bitcoin to $1 million in 3 months or whatever, it would be devastating for this country, the world. I mean, I don't want that to happen. $1 million Bitcoin, what are you going to buy? Like, 95% of everybody's in the banking system. So they're going to go broke, they're going to have nothing, they're going to be poor, they're going to be looting. I mean, I live like 10 miles from Baltimore City. I live in the county. You probably see just people from the city like ravaging into the county. And this is one reason I've been telling my wife, we have to get out of this area. We have to get more like rural, like maybe like Pennsylvania area, because if the shit ever hits the fan, the storm that's going to be coming towards the county, because as you guys all know, like Baltimore City is like a failed hellhole. Like it's just horrible. It's a hellhole of people, and most of the people that live in that city are just demons. So like if they don't have money and they don't have food stamps and the banking system collapse, they're gonna come this way. Now, of course, I do have a ton of ammo, a ton of guns, and you know, I could probably take out a lot of them before they got into my house. But still, I don't want to be put in that situation. So we don't want that situation where Bitcoin goes to $1 million. But Bitcoin going to $70,000, $60,000 in 90 days, $80,000, that would be awesome. And that could happen if this bank run narrative continues. But we'll see what happens. So we got Bitcoin just went under $28,000. For me personally, I'd like to see Bitcoin go back down to $26,000. And then I'd probably pick up some more Bitcoin. And of course, that would bring down these alts a little bit more too. But folks, to recap, don't get too caught up in Bitcoin. Make sure you're buying altcoins too, as well as Bitcoin, because the altcoins haven't run yet. And if you think Bitcoin's going to $1 million in 3 months, you better be taking some profits right now and buying AR-15s, M16s, shotguns, and a shit ton of ammo. And storable food. Because you can have $1 million Bitcoin, but if you got thousands of looters coming your way, that $1 million Bitcoin ain't gonna do nothing for you. And that's what would happen if Bitcoin was at $1 million in 3 months. It would be a total collapse of the U.S. government. So we don't want to see that just yet. Maybe in a couple years. All right, folks, like and subscribe. Talk to you later.